beginnen natuurlijk met Bas Kosters hemzelf. En die heeft zich inmiddels omgekleed. Bas, we zijn benieuwd. Koekoek. Hallo.
Zo.
Je hebt je omgekleed? En dat is niet voor niks.
Nee, we hebben het vandaag over identiteit. Net was mijn performance-identiteit. En dat alles in dienst van de prachtige performance van Elfie Tromp. Heel erg bijzonder om zo'n mooie ode te krijgen. Maar sowieso zo'n mooie ode aan de mode. Want mode is iets om te vieren. En dus vooral ook iets om je niet druk over te maken als je je aankleedt.
Goed tip, dankjewel.
Dit is mijn meer professional look, dacht ik voor vandaag. Soort netjes, maar ongestreken.
Ja. Het woord is aan jou.
Dankjewel. Nou, leuk dat jullie hier allemaal zijn. Ik zie alleen maar zwarte vlekken, dus dat is wel spijtig. En daar is roze. Deze pad. Ik mag een korte presentatie geven. Without further ado, Bas Kosters, My Life in Fashion. Look at me there. These are two looks when I was studying at Aki in Enschede. It was the year of 2000. Here left you have a kind of a ghost sheep look and some kind of a Roman princess. These pictures are taken by my roommate. This is kind of a spray can punk look and even a more extreme spray can punk look. What I did when I was studying in Enschede, I was working at a gay bar at Bulke, and I wanted to do every week a new look in search of my fluid identity. What could I be? What could I become? These looks, this was for me a laboratory, and my dear roommates would photograph me. These are all analog pictures, and I'm still working on this project. So this is one of my then favorite looks, kind of a Japanese kakibu look. Why is this so important? This was a search for myself. Who am I? What can I be? I was studying fashion, but this was really personal, really a personal quest to my own identity. And I was quite rebellious. As you see, it's quite punk and it's quite harsh. Here I am. This is during the time of my master degree, and I was hating stuff. I said puke and bureaucracy, and it was a rough time. But this was the first time that I kind of was taking a step from my own identity and putting that identity in the focus of my work. So what do you see here? This is a model of my Fashion Institute Arnhem graduation collection. It's a rock band t-shirt, but in honor of myself. So the band is called Bas, and it has a kind of a naked biker embellished on the shirt. So if you talk about brand management or branding yourself, this was the actual kind of first example of how I stepped away from my personal identity and incorporated my own identity as an image, like a beelddrager, like an image in my own work. Here's some collage from that same era, and a collage of me as Yves Saint Laurent, which I kind of sticked something on. A bit later, I started to make dolls, and I had a very specific look going on. My public identity, my public appearance was the white prince that Elfie was speaking about in her performance. I had a boyfriend who was a hairdresser, and we were very, very, very busy cultivating that public Bas Kosters image. These are two dolls representing that white prince. There is no likeness of my own identity except for that really specific white hair. And actually the hair extensions were ones that I used to wear. Here's a collage incorporating all those white princes. once graduated, I was asked to do a collaboration with Bugaboo. I was very young and very happy to be able to set course with them on a beautiful but also commercial adventure. So this was the first time I had to alter my identity from a punk and kind of alternative harsh white prints to a more commercial and soft white prints, where I would also show the giving and caring side of this quite extreme public figure. It's so nice to see this all again. This is very cute. Bas Kosters, Schubertstraat 14. This is an invite that my mom made for my birthday party. And look how cute it is. In the middle there you see a little baker, Bas, I turned 5. And actually I was playing, also in my house, I was playing a little baker. I had a little hat, it might have said Bas. My mom also made a gym bag saying Bas. So actually I took these things taught to me in my youth and incorporated them in my public identity. Here is my very beautiful gym bag. As you see, this is kind of similar with my band shirt. And here you see little Bas with his chef's hat playing. Okay. By the time I was graduated, I decided to start a rock and roll band called Bas und sein verrücktes Musikantenstadel. Yeah. We had German rock and roll songs like singing about 2 teacups and a frying pan, or about rock und roll. This is me as like a performance image, a performance identity of a somehow evil clown. And there I see a half Anyouk Tan. Woo! And for me this was a really nice playing time, because this band for me was not about making music, it was merely about searching the playground of fashion and identity. So I could have been here, but anybody else could have been there leading that band. Okay, when we got sick and tired of that German rock and roll band, I started an English band called Superior Experience, a band that kind of vaguely still exists. And this is us playing in some really random festival in Breda. And you see that this harsh look, this harsh identity of me as a performer, as a middle point in my work, is quite a strong image. This is us playing in the gardens of Fondation Cartier, where we wrecked the whole garden with our stiletto heels. It was quite an extreme performance, and everybody here almost looked kind of the same. We had a dirty mustache, we had dirty white briefs, so we were one army of me, but also an army of identity. And what I did, you don't see it here, but above here in the trees are hanging these dolls. And why is that? Because we wanted to go to Paris with a really big band, but we didn't have enough space in the van. We can't stack models in a van, but you can stack dolls in a van. So we made Bas Kosters dolls. These dolls traveled with me to Paris, to New York. So next to myself, I could also incorporate kind of a ready-made Bas Kosters. I can put it on a wall and it's there. This is my first actual big catwalk show in Amsterdam. Because I took those dolls to New York, I had New York on my mind. So I asked my mom to knit a sweater with my white hair prince self-portrait saying, "Dreaming of New York City." And I'm also, I was presenting a song called Amsterdam Monkey Dance in this fashion show. You see me there standing. And it's actually really very sweet because I have a jacket with on the back a portrait of my mother surrounded by silver studs like an icon or a Madonna. So she knitted my sweater and I'm wearing her. So if you talk about identity, this circle of childhood, inspiration, dreaming comes back into this fashion show. Sorry. I know that I have 20 minutes and I know how many slides I have, so that's why I'm a bit speedy. Bas Kosters arrested. You see me here. These are two graphics designed for a collection called Living Too Hard, inspired by the rock and roll life of pop stars and the early deaths of icons like Kurt Cobain. These are two graphics where I incorporate myself, my own identity, my own image into a print for the collection. So how do we use that? Here you see a silk raw edge top with the Bas Kosters arrested, and there you see the Living Too Hard mugshot. So this was the first time I put my face into print, my own image as a transcendent, as a message about the statement of the collection. This is a shot for a collection that I did for Heineken. This is Bas Kosters' Heineken Beat collection. And we're gonna make a collection, but it was quite tiny. Budget things, blah blah blah, doesn't matter. So what did we do? We needed to give body. So I did not design only the collection, but also a track called Beer. Because I incorporated my band with myself as a lead singer, I used my own identity, my corporate but also my public identity, to present this collection. So this is a movie. I have no clue if it's actually working. How can we check that? It's not moving. Okay, then we go on. So what is this? This is quite a fun thing. This is the Bas 12 Faces scarf. I don't really recall why we made this, but we did, and it's actually really cool. It shows all these different states of me, all these images, all these faces, all the identities that you can become. This is me in a fashion show about communication, and I'm presenting a song called Telephone Friend. So I opened this show with a personal performance, performance like a rock star, and as you see, the white hair is back, but it's a bit more friendly and it's a bit more kind of oozing extravagance. The collection after that was about over-communication, and what did I do? I changed myself into a friendly monster, a friendly wood monster, to tell about my longing for nature. So this is one of the first times I really took on a transformation, and I tried to incorporate it all round in the presentation of a collection. So this is an image, but from this image is also a video that would play on the backdrop of the catwalk, but this image was also turned into a life-size panel dress where the model would be wearing my face, so you would have a double. I would be in the show, my face would be in the show, and my face would be moving on a video screen. So this concept of really using myself as presentation matter, this is something that we did a few times after, because I found it really striking. Here on the left you see also a more dark monster. Sometimes I have to kind of twist who I am myself, because I was working with Zeeman. I was going to work with Zeeman, but people have a really quite a strong vision of who they think I am. This is of course caused by all my previous actions, but sometimes it takes some effort to change this perspective. So for Zeeman, which is a really big commercial company, we wanted to sell that underwear. So people had to be able to relate. So I know this might sound, if you look at it, it's still, for me it's still quite extreme, but on the other hand, to me it is really sweet. So this is my sweet persona. Here at the show, I was already wanting to be a bit more alternative again. This is a show about love. this collection was called Love Fuck Yeah. And if you talk about a very personal presentation, this presentation was inspired by a relationship of 9 years that came to an end. And then I started reflecting on love. And I realized there was a lot of love still left in my life from friends, but also for love for the thing that I do. And I decided to get married to love. Here you see on the backdrop yet another transformation video. And here at the end of the fashion show, I got married to this beautiful big heart with a wedding ring and a very big cake and flowers and everything. So this was a perfect match of a very personal but also very public transition of my own multiple identities. From sweet again to my kind of dark side, this is my protest Bas when I'm upset about something or when I want to push people to think. We kind of go this side, and here you see left my own protest look, and right you see the protest look on the dress. Here I am a TV chef talking about food, and similar here we made a really nice chef's cooking video, so a cooking program with Bas Kosters is really funny. You can see it in the exhibition on one of the TV screens. And here you also see the TV chef and the TV chef dress. And here you see me in the show giving birth to a little piglet that's coming out of a really big pig. Clowns are people too. Okay. It's funny when you are constantly between your own personal identity and inspiration and really pure feeling and also your public image. I thought it is also interesting to talk about other people's public images. So the collection Clowns Are People Too, for me, was about how we use other people as entertainment. It was about looking at clowns, but also at celebrities for our own amusement without really thinking how they actually feel. And for this collection, I transformed myself into 9 different clowns with a really nice transformation video as a result, which is here, but you can't see it. So I would advise you to look it up on YouTube. We have a whole YouTube channel, and there you can see all these different festivities. So, last year, actually in 2014, I did some soul searching because I was a bit lost on which way I wanted to go. I was 10 years since I graduated, and I was questioning my work field and what I was doing and my own role in there, and also my own connection to my true passion. So I realized that I wanted to re-engage with my own pure work identity, my ambition to work, my ambition to talk, my ambition to share. So I decided I should become a mindfulness guru, which I did. And this was a really double statement because I was truly in the search of comfort, and I was searching for really a moment of thought. This collection was called Permanent State of Confusion. But it was also a comment on the trend of the mindfulness. Here you see me as the mindfulness guru with my cult on the catwalk. And here the mindfulness guru is residing at his house. Like you do with a hand held. So, last December I was invited for coffee. It was Christmas holiday at Museum Arnhem to speak with Miriam about an exciting project. The project, I want it to be soft. 13 years of Bas Kosters' work, the journey of Bas Kosters. I'm very happy that I could create this beautiful momentum adventure here in the museum in Arnhem. And it gave me also again a moment to rethink, who am I, what am I doing, what is my identity, public and private, what is my ambition. I decided not only to look back, because it is a retrospective, but I also wanted to look forward. So I tried to pull the event of the exhibition close to me and see how I could use it to make steps for the future and try to embrace my new personal ambitions. Here you see me in two images created for this exhibition. Left you see me as a kind of a puppet master holding one of my dolls created for the exhibition. The doll is part of an installation called Good People Machine. On the right you see a heart mask as an icon for the whole exhibition, because this exhibition for me should be all about caring, giving love, giving inspiration, sharing, engagement. And if you talk about the way you can use your identity, sometimes it's also beautiful to really open your identity. And if you talk about something very vulnerable, here you see me almost as a baby in the womb. And what is this? This work is created of the wardrobe of my father, who passed away last year. I took that wardrobe home because I realized when he passed away the things that I learned from him, so his heritage, which I put now in my work, but I won't become a dad. That is something that I realized. So what do I do with my heritage, with my story? What do I have to give, and what do I do with that information? And I realized so much that all who I am, so my identity, was given to me by somebody else, created, inspired, opened up for me, in first case by my loving parents, who gave me a lot of freedom to become the person that is here now in all its identities. This work is called Love is All Alone. It is made of his wardrobe with all the Bas Kosters shirts that he so lovingly and proudly wore when going to when he was in politics, and then he was wearing my shirts with fucking animals and so actually so much love and inspiration and identity and circles of growth are coming together here in this beautiful work, but for me a very pure and open moment. Can I close this? Yeah. So, blue screen. So what I last want to tell you about is that I'm working on a really exciting project for the museum together with Miriam, because as you do during your career, you learn so many things. And I not only wanted to look back with this exhibition, but also wanted to look forward and really try to create for myself an opportunity to grow. Sorry. And if you talk about identity, I think it's so important to be aware of who you are and what you can be. So what I try to do with this exhibition is, well, not to really one-on-one come in as a designer and go as an artist, because I've always been very multi-dimensional, but for me I really wanted to use this this exhibition experience to become a more free, more grown-up artist. And we are working now on a very personal and intriguing art piece that will be shown in the near future. So keep your mind open. It's a really good opportunity to come again in a month or 3 or 4 back to the museum to watch the result of this exciting experience. It's a work called De Capitalist. And it's reflecting on us as makers, as designers, as artists, and our position in the world. I think it's a very important lesson, but it's also an important lesson for me about my changing identity. So I hope you will take the time in a few months to see the results of my quest. Thank you.